It's interneting.
Let's see what's happening. Things are looking good.
Because I don't want to hear anything about the internet isn't working. Because apparently Ubisoft can't even keep a server up, so the fact that I can get things to work is a nightmare. That's like, what?
Well, there you go. Yes, everything's functioning.
Fucking yes! First try!
Yes!
Things are going too smooth.
Can anybody have stuff in cram?
Skazz, yes!
Welcome to episode 210 of the Randos podcast, and for once in a very long time, we're basically on time.
Yeah, don't say that. Don't say that. I'm telling you, I told you a minute ago. It's gone too smooth. This has gone way too smooth. Wait there.
Well,
hang on.
Here we are. Waiting.
Nothing's caught fire yet. Nope.
No.
Nope. No, I think we're good. For now.
Excellent. Excellent.
My internet hasn't started leaking out or anything, so that's alright.
Oh, mate, you don't want that bandwidth escaping.
Well, what if we have a memory leak or a data leak?
Well, memory leaks happen as you get older.
Yeah.
They do.
Daily.
Yeah. And well, which is basically a data leak anyway as well. I mean, and to be honest, at some point in life, you will eventually have buffer overflow.
Yeah.
It just happens.
Just game over, man.
Yeah, at one point, you see, this is what happens. This is why people eventually die in the sort of 80s, because that's when when God set us up, he only gave us like sort of 32-bit depth of time last time.
Like,
and that basically your buffer overflows, and that's it.
It's over, son. Like, no reboot's going to fix you, son. The reboots aren't good enough.
No. Unfortunately, every time, as soon as you're born, that little click starts, time starts running.
Do you reckon Kiddly Dinks are going to have... Do you reckon they're being upgraded? No,
yeah,
I think they're going to start getting older.
I think they're on 64-bit now.
Oh, mate.
So they're going to live outlive the universe.
Mate.
Have you not heard about this, like version 2.0?
That'd be hilarious if they did that. Seriously, if they outlive the sun, come. Boop.
And the anger I have, because version 1.0 shouldn't really have left beta yet.
No.
Human 1.0 is crap.
I agree.
So many faults with it. So many things wrong.
I didn't even realise we'd got to 1.0. I thought we were still in beta, mate.
That's what I mean. The fact that they've now released 2.0 is just disgusting. We're still... It's just absolutely terrible. It is.
You know, like when companies miss like version numbers? Oh, mate, 8 isn't cool enough. 9 isn't cool enough. Let's go straight to 10. 10 sounds cool. That's what they're doing. We're probably not even in beta. I'm thinking, hey, humanity, beta. It's probably alright, yeah? No,
you wait till you get the Human 360 out.
Oh, mate, no. And it's like, yeah, no, mate, we've done 360. We're going back to 1.
Yeah.
1. I was like, what? You already had 1. No. 1. Not the first one. 1. And everyone's like, I'm getting a tad confused. Why 1 over 360? Wouldn't 720 be more of a thing? No, because you'd be looking the other way, mate. It's like, for God's sakes.
I'm just waiting to see the patch notes that come out for humans. You know, but known issue. Let's see. Known issue. Human will randomly wake up in the middle of sleeping with a jolt.
Yep.
Known issue. Yep. Perhaps we get loading screen tips as well.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Do you reckon? No. Do you think maybe that's that's like paranoid schizophrenia is your loading tip?
Yeah.
It's not quite.
It's when we finally shuffles Mortal Core and it goes, excellent. Do you want to start New Game Plus?
I was like, no, actually, I'll pass. Thanks. I had to go with the original run and it was shite.
Yeah, New Game Plus, you get to carry over all your upgrades.
So, well, I ended up in a pretty bad state, so I don't know. I get to carry over all my stats from the previous run. Senile, bitter.
No, I think actually what happens is, you know how like in Payday and in Deep Rock Galactic, when you like get to the top level, you can reset everything back to start. That's what happens. You get to top level and you get to reset everything back to start.
Yeah, but if I know how everything went, I don't know, because this game's pretty shite. You know, the graphics are fantastic.
Graphics are good.
You know, the draw distance is usually okay. Every now and then the fog rolls in because, you know,
server lag.
Yeah, hardware's getting completely hammered.
Yeah. Nothing to do with the weather. It's simply the server can't cope anymore.
So yeah, we need to stop drawing in those houses, please. Stop. No, just roll in the fog.
yeah. Because as we know, all God has all the servers in the cloud.
Oh mate.
I had to.
Accurate translation, that is.
Yeah, and basically, he shuts down. If he has to shut down a server for maintenance, that's when the fog arrives.
We need some downtime, quick.
Yeah.
Run everywhere. Run reality on that 486. That'll be fine. Just roll in the fog.
Mate, there's a Raspberry Pi somewhere powering the Earth, I'm sure.
It wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me. But do you reckon we got cheaped out and got given the 2 gig versions rather than like the 4 or the 8?
Probably. There's gonna be some random computer somewhere up in heaven that basically it does something. They don't know what it does, but it does something to maintain. That when last time they switched it off, fire and brim's. Last time they switched it off, the dinosaurs disappeared. So they don't switch this computer off. They never to reboot it.
And now you know why. It's probably like tape to tape. It's like real even.
Yeah.
What is that for? Don't touch it. Why? Just don't touch it. Yeah, but no. The grey-bearded wizard doesn't know what that's for anymore.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the admin took a holiday and has not come back.
That was one of those. Yeah, that took a weekend holiday to fucking. Was a fallen angel at the end of it.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, we just had this. He was so proud of his work. And we were like, hang on, can't be that important, dickhead.
Upper management kicked him out, and now they don't know how it runs.
So hey, just leave it.
they've not sent a tech to the location for the last over 2,000 years. So,
mate, can I just throw out there? It's pretty trippy that you can turn tech server maintenance into a biblical thing.
I think it all makes perfect sense.
See, this is where everyone says to me, no, mate, the Old Testament doesn't make sense. Now it does. Angels were wheels at one point. So,
look, the Old Testament, if you think, like, as someone who has had read documentation for frameworks, someone's own little personal code project, which won't do what you want to do, has someone had to read documentation? I mean, I've read Unity documentation, and I've read some Unreal's documentation. I guarantee you, it's the same people who author the Old Testament.
Probably. It's actually, I would probably say,
as much sense.
I was going to say, yeah, the Old Testament's probably easier to believe at this point too. Like,
if you look at the Old Testament,
that doesn't make any fucking sense.
No, it doesn't.
Look at the Old Testament. I get that.
Yeah, same people, same dev team. If you look at, if you look at the Old Testament through the eyes of of a server admin, it all makes sense,
mate. I'm just gonna go to the Unity page, and look at staff, and I'll have like Lucifer.
Yeah. Remember Noah and the flood, DDoS attack.
Oh mate, yeah.
Denial of service.
Yeah. The world got flooded with shit.
Yeah. Too many requests. It wasn't flooded. You see, we thought it was a flood of water. It was actually just too many requests at once.
Yep. I mean, in fairness, he was spamming trying to find 2 of everything.
He was. He
forgot
was
the kangaroos.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Of course. Yeah. Well. Yeah.
Dippy.
Luckily, their server region server was offline at the time.
Yeah, I was going to say, mate, they were lucky.
I'm pretty sure Australia is like the sort of the dev part of the world. Well, like, shall we try? Well, basically, you know how like in every game, say where there'll be like some random like room that you can't get to.
Yes, a closed off area, yeah.
And it's full of all random shit that devs tried out but didn't put anywhere else. That's Australia. Look all the deadly things there. It's like, no, we cannot release that spy. The spy that bites you when you're on the toilet. We cannot release that into the rest of the world.
Well, let's be fair.
Let's put it in its own little bit. No one will ever go there. It'll be fine.
It's so hot as well. Hellfire and Brimstone is pretty close.
Yeah.
It's pretty close. I mean, you throw things on the floor, they burst into flames. There's no reason to be there. None at all.
Yeah.
And they got terrible internet. Terrible internet.
Well, yeah, but but let's face it, they live like 600 miles from each other, so it's a long cable to run.
Yeah. Could you imagine that they finally finished running the copper for dial-up, and then they're like, "Hey, yo, the new one's out." It's like, fuck that. Do you want to run fiber now? Shove it up your ass. By the time they get fiber, like everyone's only just got dial-up, we get fiber, and they're like, "Nah, John's too tired."
It is weird to think that Australia's like a country that if like a power cable goes down, someone from the country's got to go fix it. They have to actually plan for like a multi-day expedition into the wilderness to find the cable.
Yeah. Well, they have to find the cable and avoid all of the things that are on the server that are really bad for you.
Yeah. Like, oh no, oh no, I'm in a too high level area here.
Oh crap. Where's Dave when you need him?
Oh no, that snake's got a skull above its head.
Shit. Well, you guys are going to be without internet for a while.
Yeah. Unfortunately, until the mob situation gets resolved,
until the next raid comes through.
Yeah, we're waiting for that. Yeah, waiting for a high level party to come through.
So, yeah, could you imagine that? I want to see that now on like a support ticket. Unable to resolve issue. High level party required. Raid group required.
Yeah. The poor IT tech that he sat there, he's waiting. He's just waiting for. There's like 6 empty chairs around him, just waiting for them people to pop in.
I was trying to think of it like 404, LFG, OMG, WTF.
Yeah.
I will say
that the real world MMO, the leveling system is broken.
Yeah.
And also, the balance is terrible.
I agree.
Yeah, the balance between some players, some of the whales out there players, is just terrible. It is definitely a pay-to-win game.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. No two ways about it. No two ways about it. We're done, son. We're out.
Yeah. Free mode just isn't very good at all. You can't do anything.
We should have probably just, put more investments in other stats early on.
Yeah.
We should have been gold farming before they locked it all down, Although we weren't on the server at that point. We got in too late before all the exploits were patched out.
Character creation, I forgot to pick the trait nepotism.
Oh, mate.
Yeah, that was a mistake.
Is that the only one? Is that the only mistake?
Oh, no, many mistakes. I sort of like intelligence +1, fat level in +10 is the downside, you see.
Well, yeah, but it's because, Mickey's makes good food.
Charisma, -6.
What do you need charisma for? You were like, I'm going to be one of them fucking wizards that gets shit done. And then we realised that once the wizards set the platform...
You just remind me, the thing that really annoys me about real world MMO, when they patched magic out.
Well, yeah, but there's loads of things these days that look like magic.
They patched it out. There was so much more fun we could cast fireballs, and they patched it out because unbalanced and broke the game.
Well, I mean, if you've ever played a Souls game, you'd know that's usually true. Magic breaks everything. Just, mate, run around in your underpants, learn to combat roll, job done.
Yeah. Right, anyway, shall we make a start? Do you know what? Every fortnight we come together and we just talk absolute shit.
It's fantastic, isn't it?
It's brilliant. It is really. British Renown podcast. Two suckling nerds discuss shit and occasionally games.
Yeah, but you say that and you'll be like, they discuss or talk shit, and all of a sudden I'll be like, I found a scat podcast. I'm in. All the fetish groups come in.
Beggars can't be choosers.
No, at this point, no. I mean, we are too old to really be part of the gaming scene. And we are nearly old enough to start shitting ourselves, so...
Yeah. Oh, it's all good.
I'm just saying.
You're just saying.
People don't want to hear it.
Just asking questions, guys. Just asking questions.
They don't want to hear it. They don't want to know about all this shit. They had all the good shit. You've had it. It's gone. Now it's ruined. As you get older, it's just done. Give up.
The respawn time on all the world's resources is crap.
Yeah. Well, I don't think they were expecting us to have this many players.
No, that's the trouble. That's the trouble.
It's a pretty mighty server it was to start with, and now it's cut.
Yeah. That's why everything keeps catching fire. It's the server can't handle it.
Yeah, it's probably right.
I mean, they tried to patch it with with the COVID update. They did try and sort that issue out, but it didn't work very well.
No, I mean, it's a little while, things started to calm down, and then, players are like, I don't really like this slice of life content you're putting on this patch.
No, so people complain about the COVID update.
Yeah, I thought it was alright, actually.
Yeah, it was quite It was quite fun for the first sort of few weeks. The lockdown wasn't actually that bad. It was quite sort of spirited for the first 4 months or 3 months or so, but then it's all got a bit boring.
Yeah. I thought it was alright until, kids had to do things.
And as this new war event that's got going on, that's just bullshit.
I can't comment, son.
Yeah.
Can't comment.
Anyway, let's actually talk about real games for a change, Skazz. Skazz, what have you been playing?
Games! I have actually played something this time, but you won't be surprised because you always take the piss. Right, let's take a guess. Can you guess what franchise I've been playing?
Let's see.
Ooh.
My top choices are hyperdimension Neptunia, Yeast. They're my 2 go-tos. I'm going to guess what game. Oh, Monster Hunter. I forgot what Monster Hunter. They're my 3 go-tos when it comes to deciding what game you've been playing.
He got it in one.
What, the first one?
Yeah. So, I have been playing, very briefly, I must say, because a new Neptunia game is coming out, but I'm old, I'm poor, and as Ram has said, this is a pay-to-win system, and I'm fucked. I didn't get Sisters vs. Sisters. That'll come. Ram, don't worry, there will be more Neptunia games on the podcast. Don't worry.
Thank for that, Skazz.
There's plenty in my backlog.
Thank you for Skazz. We're not going to have enough content.
I think I've got about 3 more to go through, At least.
How many fucking Neptunia games are there? About 500?
Yeah, it's getting that way. Well, and then you've got the remakes of the remakes. There's a few of those. Oh.
Remakes of remakes?
Yeah, mate. So Neptunia 1 was a game, then they remade it into Rebirth, and then Rebirth got a remake. See? Yeah, see? How good's that?
There's a developer. What's the developer of Hyperdimension? What's the developer called?
Idea Factory, isn't it?
Idea Factory. Okay, they just sit there and they go, "Show print some more money." I know. Boomf. Just change a couple bits of textures in that game.
Yeah, that's about right.
Relaunch it. Super Rebirth Deluxe 2, and off we go.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, a lot of them are largely the same game, to be honest. But still good. Still good. But I have been playing spin-off game Top NEP. What's that, mate? Have you ever played Space Harrier?
No.
Oh, for fuck's sake! What is wrong with you? I'm sorry, Ram. I'm just going to rip into you now. What is wrong with you? How have you never played Space Harrier?
Well, I haven't.
Okay. I feel... Why?
Oh, that's how you spell it, Top NEP. Right, okay.
How did you spell it?
I spelled it with 2 P's.
No, NEP. NEP.
Yeah, well, I got some weird results when I put Top NEP in.
I'm not gonna. I'm really tempted now to look, but are you have you gone to Pornhub, Ram?
No, I've got like.
I thought you'd have looked up Space Harrier for Christ's sakes.
I'm getting there.
No, I might. I've probably gone and picked the complete wrong game, but
apparently, yeah. There's a range of kids top called Alfie Nep Top.
Eh?
For like really small children.
If
you search for Top Net with 2 P's, you'll see what I mean.
I don't think I want to be honest with you. No, I'm not going to.
You won't be on, it's not dodgy. You're not going to end up on a list.
I'm always on a list. The fact that I play Neptunia
You're going to end up on another one.
The fact that I'm sat here talking to you means I'm already on all of them. The British government is not a fan of our podcast.
I know Keir Starmer might be. I know he's not in power, but he might be.
Wow.
I mean, let's be honest. Boris looked like an anime protagonist.
At the intelligence level of one.
That Spike with that hair of his, he would have fitted right in any anime-based game.
Mate, seriously, he would have made a fantastic Saturday morning cartoon villain.
I'm going to search Boris Johnson anime.
Get it done. That's going to be really bad. I wouldn't, but good job. Yeah. So, Top NEP is basically a reskin of Space Harrier, which is an old school arcade game where, how to explain Space Harrier. So you know how Mario has a fixed camera and it just, the screen scrolls along with Mario? Well, imagine Space Harrier, your character basically starts, you know you've got 8 points of movement on your D-pad or whatever. Yeah.
Yep.
Right. You start at the bottom center, and you can fly around the screen. And the camera is behind you, fixed behind you, and you fly forwards automatically. It's a scrolling shooter, and enemies come at you, and the aim of the game, realistically, is to shoot them down, dodge them, and you also have an attack that you can use to cut down their attacks, but I didn't even realize that was a thing until I'd already finished the game. So not necessary to have it, but I imagine it would be a thing on the harder difficulties. But you have a health bar. Every time you get hit, health goes down. When you run out of health, dead. Okay? On the other side, you've got like a power-ups bar. And as you kill enemies, or as enemies use certain attacks, or as you blow up pieces of terrain or whatever that you have to kind of avoid or blow up or whatever, sometimes coins are dropped, and you pick up those coins and things go into the power-up bar. When you fill up the power-up bar, another one of the Neptunia characters comes in to act like, I don't know, like an option, I suppose. Option meaning a kind of a secondary character or thing on screen that also fires along with you. So if you're playing and you get the power up, another character comes in and you'll shoot twice as much. And that's basically kind of the groove. You fly forwards, you shoot enemies, you dodge bullets, get to the end of the stage, boss turns up, do boss fight, rinse and repeat. And I think that goes on for like 5 or 6 stages. It's not a very long game at all, because you can get it for like £1. But I took the game down first try, and the soundtrack's fantastic. It's in this like really neat kind of pixel art style. They're trying to throw it back to like Space Harrier and that, with reskinning Neptunia.
Yeah, I'm looking at it on Steam at the moment, and yeah, it's really old school. It looks almost like sort of like limited color palette.
Yeah,
it almost looks like NES style. Or SNES maybe.
Yeah, I'd probably say. I mean, you know, Space Harrier was more, because they had a Master System Space Harrier that was terrible, and then say Super Nintendo and Mega Drive had an okay version of Space Harrier. But we're talking like proper old school, maybe PlayStation level of sprites. You know, nothing hardcore here, nothing high res.
No,
nothing particularly fast. When things start going crazy, though, there's like usually loads of bullets on screen and that. But it's really fun, and the soundtrack's a belter as well.
Oh, on offer $159.
Oh, was it $159? I thought it might have been a bit cheaper than that. But how much is it normally?
$3.99.
Oh, okay, but so that kind of explains like how short the game is, you know, for that price. It's not very long at all. But the aim of the game is to get to the end and get a high score.
Yeah.
Get good, you know.
Get good scrub.
But I thought it was really, really, really fun for what it was. Really fun for what it was. But that's what I played. I went through it. I got a bunch of achievements on it. I would happily play it again. Did I play it on my... I can't remember if I played it on my Steam Deck or not. I played it on my Steam Deck. Works great on the Steam Deck, mate. Game that hardcore.
It looks like ideal for that.
So high res. Battery life probably only lasts for about 10 minutes, though, with graphics like that. But, yeah, I mean, I just saw it. It was on sale, and I'm poor this year, and I've wanted to play it for a while, so, you know, had a go. And it was fucking great. Neptune! Because I know how much you like to hear about Neptunia games, man.
Oh, mate, you know I'm such a fan of them.
They're great. Absolutely brilliant, mate. This is so good. It's all about that. There's more about games in those games than in our podcasts. You should just take a page out of the Neptunia book. Just add in pudding to Round Nerds podcast, and we're there.
So what has it got to do with actually hyperdimension Neptunia? Is there the characters in it from hyperdimension Neptunia?
So you've just got the CPUs, the console patron units, the goddesses. So Neptune, Noir, Vert, Blanc, the sisters. They're all in it. And they're like, so the main character is Nep, and then all of the options, the kind of power-ups, those are the other CPUs, so you can have like 2 or 3 of them on screen at the same time. And the bosses are Neptunia villains, so CFW Trick, R4, all those guys just kind of come in, and the regular little enemies are just regular little enemies from the games, like Doggoos, like the little slimes, and the fucking giant eggplants and stuff like that. It's that's it. It's just a hyperdimension Neptunia themed version of Space Harrier, realistically. And it's great.
It almost feels a bit like a fan patch.
Yeah, look, honestly, it wouldn't surprise me if someone was just like, you know what, I'm bored in the office today. I want to play Space Harrier. I'll code my own and put Neptunia on it. And there you go.
That's probably how it started.
Yeah, probably. Because I remember it being announced alongside another game. But I don't remember what one it was. And I just thought with Sisters vs. Sisters coming out and having not played it, or not being able to play it, I was like, well, I'll get top NEP. I would have liked to have gotten, like, or played stuff like Neptune vs. Sega Hard Girls. What's the Idle one? They've got an Idle one, another Idle one. Then they've got the Senran and Kagura crossover as well. I haven't played that yet. I've got all of these games, but let's just say now I've got a big old backlog. I'm going through it. But that's it. That's it.
Oh, fair enough.
It was cheap and cheerful, and it was well worth the quid odd that I spent on it. I could have sworn it was cheaper than that.
Perhaps it was on cheaper offer, but it's 6% off. But even so, even like $3.99, it's dirt cheap.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was just. I just looked at it and thought, yeah, just something fun to kind of dick around, like a game you can just pick up and play for 15 minutes, put it down, go back to it later. Kind of no-brain it, just chill out, listen to some nice music. The graphics are pretty nice too. For what they are, I mean, the sprite work on it's fantastic.
Yeah, no, it looks all right. It looks old school, but nice old school.
Yeah, it's one of those. I can't remember what they call it, but it's like, say, like Shovel Knight and stuff, where they try to emulate a specific style, like a specific era. You know, oh, we want Super Nintendo style graphics, but we know that, say, for example, the Super Nintendo couldn't do parallax and backgrounds with XYZ number of layers, but we can with this, so we'll do it in that style, but kind of beef it up a bit. You know,
yeah. There's a balance to maintain the style, but at the same time make it look. It's very easy to go too far.
Yeah.
You know, you've got to sort of. You want to make it look. You want to make it look new but old.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that. So, like, you don't want to go like infinite layers into the background and all that kind of stuff. You just want to keep it smooth, keep it simple. Less is more. Less is more, and that was definitely the case with Top NEP. Recommended, but then I recommend everything with Neptune in it. So
yeah, you've got Shares and Idea Factory, haven't you?
Yes, and Compile that and Tamsoft and Mages.
That explains everything, really.
Hey, what can I say? As I'm like sat here in my Neptunia baseball cap and my Neptunia t-shirt with my Neptunia jacket, my Neptunia boxer
body
shorts.
pillow,
mate. I should, I could get one. I might have to get one just to put on the wall. Like, put it next to me, just like, there you go.
Yeah, just have it all just laying around the lounge just to confuse people.
Why not? Just to creep people out. Because I have a knack of doing that kind of stuff. Like, oh my God.
Mate, you don't need a pillow to do that.
Things I sense I've gone too far. A little too often. There's no filter here. Is that...
No.
Like, that's a conversation starter. Is that... No one will ever come into my house and go, mate, is that Neptunia body pillow?
No,
Right.
no, they won't admit it without, they won't admit it.
I'll get the message on Facebook later, and I'll go, why, yes it was.
Yeah. But one comes in, they'll look at it, they'll look at you, and they'll sort of like give you a knowing glance, a knowing wink, and say, I know what that is. And you'll give a knowing wink back, and between you, without saying a word, you'll both communicate that you're both hyperdimension Neptunia players.
Yep.
And it'll all be good, and you'll have your pillow there, and then whoever they're with when they leave, they'll like be envious of you.
And they'll get my Steins Gate references too.
They will.
Because you didn't mention Steins Gate.
Is their Venn diagram of 100 players and seismic players? They basically are just one of the same.
Well, there is a crossover, isn't there? Because Mages is based on Q.U.B.E. The character Mages from Hyperdimension Neptunia is based on Mages, the company that did a chunk of... Yeah.
Well, see how.
Just saying.
Fair enough.
Anyway, what have you been playing, Ram?
Well, I have been playing a little puzzle game called Q.U.B.E.
Wait, hang on. Is this a little puzzle game like Top Nep Little, or have we both decided to kind of go, you know what? This looks pretty simple. This looks pretty rad. How hard could it be?
It's a short little puzzle game. It's probably like 2.5 hours, 3 hours long.
That's
Little puzzle game.
That's pretty long for a...
It's basically like it's very much in the sort of Portal-esque. It's like a little simple puzzle game that has a very few simple mechanics that it builds up to make interesting style levels, and then from there from that it creates some interest, and you have a little bit of fun. And it's called Q.U.B.E. and it's very much. I've been playing the director's cut version. And the difference between director's cut version and the original version is director's cut version has a story in the sense that they add in dialogue, which basically gives you background of where you are and what you're doing.
Oh, right.
So in the base
like
game,
cutscenes or just like audible dialogue over...
there are a couple of in-game cutscenes, but basically, you know how you have a voice just talking to you.
Oh,
right,
okay.
Yeah. So the original game, you just woke up somewhere and you had no idea where you were, and you just played the game and got out. This one, there's actually a voice. The storyline is that you are a astronaut who has this big cube heading towards Earth, and they don't know what it is. It's like an alien structure, and they've sent you in to basically, because it's a threat to Earth, because if it crashes Earth, it could do a lot of damage. They've sent you in as to try and sort of work out what it is.
All right.
And you're being taught to by somebody who's based on the ISS.
Just had a note, Ram. You said, like, a game where, there's a narrator and there's someone talking to you, right? And I said, yes, but you know what? My brain just went, what other games do that? Like,
well,
all I can think of right now is Broken Sword, but that'd be in a completely different style, wouldn't it?
Yeah, well, the obvious touch point is Portal.
Well, oh, yeah, but then that's a secondary character. For some reason, I was thinking, like, someone like a voice in your head kind of thing. But yeah.
Oh right, no, it's it's somebody talking to you via radio.
Oh, okay.
And there's another character turns a bit later on. Another character sort of interrupts you a bit later on as well, talks to you as well. But that they weren't in the base game. They've literally added in to add a storyline to the game, effectively.
Okay. I'm going to add this to my.
It's already on your wish list.
Is it? God damn it.
Yeah. Yeah, it is Portal-esque in that. So, I mean, I tell you what, I have to say, top most of the guys, they've really managed to save their time and effort when it comes to model design, because everything is based on cubes with slightly curved edges. Yes, everything's a cube. It's like, well, you guys, you managed to make do with some simple assets, didn't you? Well done. All credit to you. You managed that. You did that well. Yeah. So you wake up and you are on you have this where you interact is you have a suit which you've got two hands, and they both just do different functionality, which you activate with your mouse buttons, and you'll come across various cubes. So all the walls are made of white cubes you can't interact with, The first cube you encounter is this red cube, and clicking on it with one sort of hand makes the cube, or basically makes it extend out the ground, and it'll extend up to 3 blocks high, and the other hand will make it retreat 3 blocks high. Then the sort of, so that basically you can use it to make platforms and jump on and so forth. The next cube you unlock is like a set of stairs. No, tell you, next to it is like a jump, so it's like a blue cube, and when it's stuck out the ground, it's like disarm. If you activate, go back into the ground, whenever you or any other object touches it, it gets flung straight up or in a direction and so forth. And the third cube is like the sort of like yellowy coloured cube, and it actually comes in a set of 3. And so imagine 3 cubes like in a line, and whichever one you click on. So let's say you click on the bottom one, that will extend out like 3 steps. The one above will stay out 2, and the one above will extend out 1 to make a little set of stairs.
Right.
But which way it does it depends on which one you click on. So if you like retreat it back in and click on the top button, it'll do the same. The top one will come out all the way, and then the middle one will say 2, and the bottom will go 1. Or if you click in the middle one will come out 2 steps, and then either side will go just 1. So you can control which way the steps go by pretty much when you click on.
Okay.
And those sort of 3 base cubes then form all sort of like levels. So it's split into sort of like 7 sections, and each section has a sort of like theme. So obviously you have the basic cubes, the first theme, and a little bit later on you'll get things like you may be working in the dark. You can't actually see the cubes. You can switch, like you can like highlight them, but only like one at a time, a type at a time. There'll be bits where like you are having to guide these little robot dudes like through a base by using cubes. So they'll automatically turn right whenever they hear cubes. So you'd like adjust which cubes are there to make them turn right, and so forth. And towards the end, you pick up a power that there's also a purple like kind of cube, which basically rotates sections of the level. Mm-hmm. So you can like sort of where you see them, you can rotate like a section of level. You can use it to like sort of guide like little balls and stuff around and so forth. It's very simplistic, very neat. Has got VR mode.
Oh.
Although, again, how much you bounce around in it and so forth, I think you get very sick trying to play that in VR for any length of time. But that looks like it could be quite cool.
Challenge accepted.
Yeah. So it's a real simple, neat game. Not you'll easily do it in one sitting. The puzzles aren't particularly complicated. Apparently, some of the other things they changed the director's cut version is in the original game there were some puzzles that were physics based, but they were reliant on the game physics working out the same way every time. So you could have a situation where like, okay, I need someone to roll in. If the number that the dice that rolls determine which way this ball goes, rolls wrong, we're not going to get it in. And
sure.
So they sort of hard code. I don't say hard code, but they basically put restrictions in to make sure it went the right direction.
Set parameters rather than allowing.
Yeah. So I think what I think they do is
because you shouldn't have any degree of random in a physics puzzle outside of.
Basic puzzles are fine as long as you can stray them really well.
Yes, that's what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah, because the trouble with physics puzzles is that a physics puzzle works fine as long as every time you run it, it does the exact same thing.
Yeah.
Trouble with most people set up physics in their games is part of the fun of it is the physics is slightly unpredictable.
Which is fine until you get to a puzzle where, say, you need to throw something at a certain speed or expect something to ricochet off of a wall. If you throw it at the same point, you expect it to go the same way every time.
So they do things. So there's bits like where you'll have a board, it'll roll down a hill, and they'll get to a wall. The wall will have like a little bit which it needs to go through to like get to the next stage. And perhaps you can rotate the area around it and like sort of put cubes in that sort of just the way the ball rolls, so forth. Mm. Well, I got to one of those bits, and the ball must have managed to instead of rolling. So imagine it's sort of like it can basically only roll sort of like left or right in this sort of like area because it's like you're like going down like a hill almost. So sort of like roll the x-axis and sort of the z-axis, but can't roll on the y back and forth to you, for example. One point the ball did roll ahead in front and missed, and it suddenly teleported back to where it should have been.
Oh.
So I suspect there's like a collision put there to like say no, you keep there, just to make it predictable. And it doesn't feel like it still has physics attached to it, but it's constrained so it doesn't misbehave.
I get you.
And makes it, and as you can predict it, and your predictions will normally work. There was only sort of one bit which I got a bit frustrated with the physics of, and then I realised I was doing it wrong. And once I changed how I did it, it all worked perfectly. Once I changed a few bits.
Sure.
Like I say, it's very neat, very short. The storyline gets surprisingly dark at places. I was not expecting to find that your character in this little puzzle game, your character gets revealed later on. He's a murderer.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
It's nice to know.
Yeah, it's like oh yeah, you one time you were at home, your house you heard a teenage burglar breaking in. They thought you'd gone out and there's no one there. You go down with your gun and you shoot them. But it turns out they weren't a burglar. They actually saw your stove on fire and they're coming in to try and put it out. It's like, yeah, likely story.
Yeah, I was going to say, hang on a minute, what?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he's paralysed the next down. He died 7 years later. I thought, seriously, this just feels like someone just making it up as they go along.
You said, wait, put me on a guilt trip, motherfucker.
Yeah. It's like, why?
In my house, without permission. I wasn't expecting him to be there. Fair game.
Yeah. It's like, what? This is not what I was expecting this evening to happen to me in this game, to be guilt tripped by the game.
Don't be a hero. If you see my fucking stove on fire, you leave it and let me burn. You walk on, knowing you would have done the right thing.
Yeah. Or perhaps, call somebody else, let the fire brigade come break in.
Yeah, and then I can shoot at them too.
Yeah.
Look, there's an alien!
Yeah. Perhaps, knock on my door and say, your stove's on fire, rather than breaking in.
Yeah. Logic.
So, yeah.
But logic has been trumped by guilt.
True. I press X to doubt on that explanation. So...
Hold F for Ram's trust.
Yeah. Ram will remember this. Yeah, it's all right. I mean, they've very clearly sort of working on the Portal formula.
Yeah.
It feels very Portal-esque when you're playing it, in that you are the sort of environments, simple, very simplistic, very basic, but it works. The way you interact, you have when Portals, you have the portal gun. This one you have your hands, but the same thing. They have two different functionalities. It's very self. It's
all I've got.
Yeah, it's just your two hands, but the magic hands.
But they can only do two things.
They can only do two things. Yes.
Oh mate. They better be
magic.
Good.
Yeah. Well, they're magic. Well, they vary depending on what things you sort of waggle them at. They vary.
They're context sensitive.
They are. Apparently, yeah, you're like this weird suit that's like sort of like can keep you alive like forever. Because there's like a guy in it who's like says, oh yeah, his suit photosynthesized and kept him alive with nutrients and stuff in his spaceship for like 5 years. Like that may be true. What about oxygen?
That's rich people stuff, eh?
Yeah, I so appreciate who needs some oxygen out there. Yeah, it's yeah. The storyline doesn't make any sense whatsoever, but it's all right. It's fun. It's neat. It's got some like hidden puzzles in it as well. There'll be little like sort of like bits, and the hidden puzzle actually in some ways more interesting because I did find the puzzles are very easy.
Right.
You sort of as soon as you see it, you just know what you've got to do, and you can quickly see, oh yeah, that'll do. I found it very simplistic. I mean, I've played quite a few of these sort of like first-person puzzle games, so I'm probably just hardwired for it a little bit to spot the familiar patterns. But I wasn't stumped really at all. Whereas, like, Portal and Portal 2 stumped me several times. I had to sit there and trying to work out what to do, and like the Turing test, and what was the other one I played? Talos Principle.
Mm-hmm.
Talos Principle had some real stinkers of puzzles in it. My God. But it's very, very neat, very neat. I said you'll learn instantly what you can do, and each section puts an interesting twist of what you've already done, so it keeps it fresh. Some of the side puzzles I should do are actually probably the best bit. There's one bit where you have to, those games you get where you have like a ball bearing and you have to go through a maze by yeah. There's like a one the size of a room, and like you can adjust, and you have to. There's a big ball. You have to sort of like you can hit a button to like angle it in different directions. And you have to use that to try and guide the ball through the maze. That's quite fun. So
wow, most kids would be like, "Wow, that's such a new thing." It's like, nah, mate.
Yeah, nah, mate. They have this. So no, so yeah, Q.U.B.E. It's dirt cheap as well. It's like six quid I think on Steam.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really cheap. There is Q.U.B.E. 2 as well, which is dearer, which apparently adds quite a bit more bits and pieces into it.
It's good enough to get a sequel.
Yeah. They've got a director's cut and a 10-year anniversary version of it as well.
Oh right, okay.
Yeah, I mean, I looked at the website today for that company. It's like all they've made is Q.U.B.E. and Q.U.B.E. 2. So,
well, what's wrong with that?
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that.
Now, have you played Polarity? Just so maybe next time have a go.
I have not, but I have heard of it.
Yeah, another kind of Portal-y style game came out on the Ouya years and years and years ago. It's one of the few actually pretty good Ouya games. I'd say potentially give that one a go.
Oh,
because you play a lot of games with like random ass puzzles, so.
I quite like puzzle. I like sort of puzzle games that are you don't require like twitch reflexes to play. I like games where like you can sort of like just get through sort of like by think for stuff. So they're a game that you can just sort of like sit back in your chair, relax, and just enjoy your way through.
Okay.
So I quite like. Oh, there it is. Polarity. Add to wish list. So cool. Awesome. But yeah, no. So yeah, I would give Q.U.B.E. a thumbs up.
Fantastic.
Neat game.
I might have to move it from my wish list to my library at some point.
Well, yeah. Well, let's be honest. That's not much. That's not much for a computer game. That's not much of an upgrade, really, because it still just sits there unplayed.
Yeah. Not for long.
Not for long. I am actually trying to sort of like go through my library and sort of like actually play the stuff that I've either bought ages ago and there's some random sale. I'll play that, and I've never touched it, or I've got a Humble Bundle or whatever. I'm trying to sort of actively get through my library.
I do it all the time, and then I go as far as to install the games that I want to play, and then months later I'll go, I really need the space to install another game that I ain't going to play. I'll uninstall this one. And that's usually the life of most of the games in my Steam library.
Yeah, I did at one point, like, literally go to the top of the list and start going A to Z. Like, I'm just going to play games in order.
Because I've got so many derpy games, I'd be banging my head against the wall in about 10 minutes.
Yeah. Oh, no, that didn't work too well. So, but, I want to... I want to sort of, like, have a bit of, madness every now and again.
You want to know that your Steam library is well loved, that the investment was completely worth it, and that you will go down as one of the handful of people in the history of humanity ever, and I'm saying this hundreds of years into the future, to ever play nearly every game on their Steam library.
Oh, Jimmy's here. Hello, Jimmy. Sorry I missed your chat. It's going all right.
Beautiful.
Yes. Right, Skazz, anything else from yourself?
Nah, mate.
Oh, fantastic. Well, thank you much for joining us this evening. Our next podcast is on the 11th of February, and Skazz will be very excited because there'll be another one where I'm farm sitting, so it'll be remote. Via 4G and a laptop, so you'll have audio only of me next time. And crappy audio as well. So Skazz will be very pleased with that.
It means you have to set up more stuff.
Yeah, let's do some more work.
It's like, wait, you have to do more work for less? Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. It has to compensate for the less.
That's what happens when you set up a groove. You've got a groove, and then someone goes against the groove, and you're like, oh no, it's going against the groove. Just saying.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's awesome that. You can join us on our next game tonight on the Tuesday, 31st October. Playing Left 4 Dead 2, I believe.
Wait. I swear I just
Yes?
heard you say October.
I did say October. That's because I'm looking at my show notes on the thing, and I haven't changed it from because I use the same
Yeah,
template. I haven't changed it from.
not October. If you look, if you're gonna give me until October off, I'm cool. But fucking,
I'm January. I want to change October to January in my show notes list.
there you go. Yeah, but the next game's not as in February.
No, it's Tuesday, 21st, 31st of January.
No, it's not Tuesday. It's Wednesday. Remember?
Oh, good shout, Skazz. Good shout. I forgot we were on Wednesday. Good job you mentioned that. So right. You can join us on next games night where we're playing Left 4 Dead 2 on Wednesday, the 1st of February. That nailed it. They'll never see it. You can cut around that, can't you?
I'll think about it.
I've just spelled February.
Mate, I can't spell February. In fairness, apparently I can't even say January. The first fucking month of the year. Jan, mate, innit?
I'm going to be embarrassed to admit, until literally last year, I didn't have to spell Wednesday. I always used to spell it wrong.
Why do you need to spell anything past wed?
But as long as you need to work the whole day, and then I sort of...
Yeah, but why?
Well, sometimes it's...
Because you want to look smarter than you are? No, mate.
Yes.
Wed. Date. Wed. Date. Done. Finished. No more letters. It's done.
Yeah. How do you
Tuesday. T-U-E. Thursday. Thurs, mate. Innit?
Thur.
It's done.
Thur.
No more. Stop with your letters. Friday. Fry. Done. You can bin off the day bit as well. We know it's a day. Every day's a day. It's not important. It's not special. All right? Just give us the first few letters. They're not usually the same. Job done. All right? If every day started with W-E-D or, M-O-N, then I'd be concerned. Spell the whole thing out. But it doesn't. You don't have to. Let it go.
You can tell the people who made calendars were really pleased to discover that the first 3 layers were different every day of the week, because otherwise it could be really awkward.
That'd be so annoying. It's probably Candace's fault I don't bother writing out full names of fucking days.
I suppose you ain't got down to this just having single letters.
Mate, at this point, I don't...
T-F-S-S.
I barely even... Fucking SS. I barely fucking keep track of what day of the week it is these days. So it doesn't really matter. What date is it? You asked me that today already. Well, what date was it yesterday? Just take today's day and take one off. Yeah. But I don't know what today is. But I already told you, but I forgot. Is it really relevant? Is it a kid's school day? No. Well, fucking put it in the bin then.
Also, I walked into the office the other day at work and said, "What?" I said, "What time is it?" Someone said, "It's 22." I said, "That doesn't help me in any way."
20 to what? 20 to I get to go home.
The key bit of information in that was left out.
Mate, if I had a quid for every time I've spoken to someone and they've done the exact same, there's like, that's not what I asked you.
Yeah.
There is a delicious, meaty piece of information that you just happen to leave out. A key ingredient to this.
Yeah.
That's the bit I'm after. Don't give me all the fluff around it. So when you ask someone, sorry, I didn't hear you, and they repeat the very last bit that prompted your, got your hearing going, and you're like, right, I've heard that bit. Shit, what was the first bit? Sorry, what did you say? And they repeat the last bit. I heard that bit. That's why I asked you to repeat yourself. Because that was when I started paying attention. That was the first bit.
That last bit is basically when a bit Lex had been woken up, isn't it? Really, that last bit's engaged you, but you didn't buffer the first bit to us having instruction.
That's basically it. You were fucking talking to me all that time. I didn't realise you were talking to me. All of a sudden, my brain went, I think they're trying to talk to you. Catch the last bit. Sorry, what was that? No, I heard that bit. Stop repeating the last bit. If I ask you what the fuck's going on, I expect you to repeat the whole thing. And if it took you all day, take a day off. Just do it again. It's fine.
We have a person at work who literally, when she has a break, if she'll come to the canteen, you could be sat there in the corner on your phone or reading a book or whatever, and she'll just start talking to the air, not looking at you, just talking to the air, just speaking out loud, and then she'll ask you a question about something she'll be talking about, like about an issue she's having with her neighbour, and then she'll go, "What do you think?" And you have to like either try and muddle through and pretend you were listening, or more likely go, "What?" Because you weren't listening, because they didn't address you. They just started talking to the ether. It's really weird.
See, that's why, Ram. That's partly why I go so long-winded and I have to keep going until I'm sure I've made my point clear. Because once it's done, don't ever talk to me about it again. It's done. I've told you in detail. Remember it or don't. That's none of my concern. You have just been briefed. You have everything you need now to not go and commit war crimes. Take what I say, follow it to the letter. If you start changing shit, you clearly weren't paying attention.
I just like the fact that all your information is based around preventing war crimes.
Mate, that's just how it is. You know how it is. You say something and some bellend only heard the last thing you said, and all of a sudden, we've nuked the planet. So what are you doing that for? But you said, I said, no, mate. I said, follow it.
You said launch the nuclear weapons. Said, no, I said don't launch the nuclear weapons.
Whatever you do, Charlie Bob fucking Cratchit, don't fucking launch the nuclear cunting missiles.
What did you say? Cunting missiles. Okay.
Yeah, we got loads of those. Launch them, all right then. No! You fool! Look.
Stop it. I'm sorry, I pushed the button now.
Fine. I am not taking the blame for this. Well, your management. Fuck. And this is why AI will replace
Skazz pulls out his pistol and shoots both of them in the head.
Oh, I will make sure that I shoot them so much. Let's be fair, right? If I've only got 6 shots, I am using all 6 on that motherfucker for not listening to me. And then I'll just beat myself to death with the pistol. I'll probably keep firing until it just clicks at you. And then someone will walk in and go, what happened? And I'll just click at them too.
click. General Skazz, can you just explain what happened? Why have we launched the nukes at Russia? Click. I didn't want to do it. They made me.
Start pointing the empty gun at the guy you've already fucking filled full of bullets and start clicking it at them. Instead of talking, you're so angry, you just keep clicking it at them. It's like, he's dead. Click.
The guy who's dead. So
why did we launch the
you?
Click. Him. Click. Oh, it's getting faster. He did it. And you fucking start getting like erratic, start jumping up and down.
I love the feeling that General Skazz is basically a military version of Skippy the Bush Kangaroo, who only communicates via the clicking of a pistol.
It's almost as bad as, like, I don't know, last year. What's that? Little Timmy stuck down a well? Fuck him.
What's that, Skip? Launch nuclear weapons, Skip.
Like, no!
Okay, Skip.
Click. I was told, just don't ever give me weapons, because I'll probably end up doing as much damage to me as everyone else, but it's got to be done.
I'm just trying to think of the scenario where the government of the UK has collapsed to such a situation that General Skazz is in charge of the nuclear deterrent.
Oh, mate, just think, I wanted to buy a fortress.
What series of events has occurred? I just got a vision of you stood there, the guy dead, the person looking at Gaz, you sat with your pistol clicking, and its camera zooms in, and there's a slight free frame, and you just hear the phrase, "You're probably wondering how I got here."
Yeah, and then just fucking clips back.
Yeah.
Oh, mate, this is not how I expected this day to go.
Yeah. 24 hours earlier.
Oh, mate. And it'll probably turn out that it was all put into fucking motion about 30 years prior when I stopped someone stepping into the road. No good deed goes unpunished.
Yeah, at some point, somewhere, you actually sign a petition that through some sort of convoluted means got put on the wrong list and got listed as like potential candidates for generalcy, and all the other people happen to have died.
Nailed it.
Yeah.
By the way, I wanted to get another fortress. It's off the coast of Wales. Looked gorgeous. I'd have had that. I'm looking for fortresses now. I want a fort.
I want to thought. Can we get? What about a castle? Would you be happy with a castle?
Can I drop things from the top?
Yeah.
That's the whole point. That's the whole point of like.
I'm pretty sure when you own a castle, you do what the fuck you want. Because what are they going to do?
I'm there. We'll have a castle. What are they going to do? Lay siege to us?
Exactly. Siege.
Just imagine fucking rolling a fucking trebuchet up to Norwich Castle. Challenge accepted, you bastards. Oh no, but we'd have to take it first because it's not for sale. Just say, look, it's tradition in my country. I'm supposed to take this castle.
I think we should go for Thetford Castle. It's a bit smaller, and I've also seen the guys who run it. They're quite old.
I think we could handle that.
Yeah, if we get in there quick, Thetford Castle, please, also got an armory.
I was going to say, if we get in there quick, what, so we can, like, run past them as they're trying to armour up?
Yeah, exactly. We got to get into the armory quick before the old ladies get in there.
Oh, mate. Got to be careful, though. Old ladies?
Yeah, they grab their handbags or fucked.
No. If you said they're old boys, we might win that. Old ladies, that could be a problem.
Look, sometimes you've got to push and be brave.
You've clearly never been belted by a nun before.
Strangely enough, no. Strangely enough, no, I never have been belted by a nun before.
Well...
I mean, it sounds like it's an interesting fetish, I must say, but it's not one I've never considered.
It's one of my personal favourites, to be fair.
Yeah.
That and a dom nurse.
Play hide the wimple.
Ram, put it in the bin. Clean your mind, son. Back to
never. Click, 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 click.
Good times.
Anyway, shall we end this now, Skazz? We ended about 10 minutes ago.
Games night is on a day.
It's on
with
Wednesday.
Live streams.
No nukes. Unless Russia launches them.
Can't I do that? I mean...
Maybe.
You know. Because...
Perhaps we should play DEFCON.
Yes! Let's do that.
Shall we play DEFCON?
At some point, yes.
Yes.
As soon as they see us launch, it instantly goes into the fucking... So, oh no! It's the Randers.
But I can command the armies. I've played DEFCON and I've read the Warhammer rulebook. I can win this.
And they're all like, "Oh shit, we're doomed."
Yeah. How many points is infantryman worth?
He's worth about $1.50.
This is why if I get world power, this is what we'll have. World power, charge. We won't use guns in war anymore. We'll roll dice.
Oh, that sounds a bit. My luck's terrible, and you know that.
Yeah, it's all about the numbers. If you roll enough dice, you'll win.
I better make sure I got a lot of dice then.
Yeah.
You only need to roll a 3. Somehow he rolled 6 die and didn't manage to get it. How did he manage that?
But true.
Wow.
Sad but true. Right. Anyway, so once again, goodbye everybody.
Take it easy, guys. I think that's everyone.
See you
Did everything. I don't think Ram told you where we were streaming. Twitch.tv/SK4ZZI0US. He's the Suffolk Ram. See you later,
mate. You see, you're throwing me over. See, this is what happens when you become charged with nuclear deterrent. You throw me off.
Ram's nightmares. Well, this is why you can't be ranked higher than me, then.
No. Oh, never. No.
Because if I get in charge, if I'm in charge of anything even remotely important, you're going to have a meltdown.
Mate, if as long as I'm in charge of something that can like take cover from nukes. Like
as long as you've got the bunker.
Yeah, you have the nukes. I'll have the bunker.
I've got access to a bunker. Let him do whatever he wants because something's going to go bad.
Yeah, I'll have access to the bunker. I'll take some sheep down there so I'll keep them safe because somebody's got to survive the nuclear holocaust.
It's going to turn into Spec Ops: The Line.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, with Skazz the main character.
I love that game.
That is an awesome game.
I'm going to have to play that through again.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah.
See you guys.
Anyway. Well, thanks for joining. I'm going to retreat to the bunker. Skazz going to start clicking again.
Oh, yeah.
And we'll see you all if you don't see you on GameStop, we'll see you for the next podcast in a fortnight's time.
Rockin'. Take it easy, guys.
Bye, guys.